My name is Darina, and today we're going to talk about our lead-in stages. The problem is that very often teachers get overexcited about their lead-ins, and these take up loads and loads of time. While a lead-in is important, and you definitely notice that each lesson starts with a lead-in because we want to establish a clear context, we want to build schemata, we want to do all that to prepare our learners for the lesson. But don't forget why you're teaching that lesson. If it is a grammar lesson, for example, you want to spend way more time in your clarification stage and then in your practice stages, rather than having loads of fun in the lead-in, setting up the context of the lesson, that it's about love and, oh, let's discuss all of these very, very interesting questions that later on lead to not having enough time for your freer practice stage or not having enough time to do your delayed error correction. So I would say that a lead-in should not be any longer than 5 minutes. And if it can be shorter, then make it shorter. If it can be just a minute long, perfect. If it can be 2-3 minutes, good, go for it. Even if you're teaching a 90-minute lesson, there is no need to have an extra long lead-in. Very often teachers are afraid that if I don't spend enough time in my lead-in, I will have to finish early. Well, that's not true. You can always extend your speaking task in the end, which actually allows your learners to practice using the target language. That is the main focus of your lesson. Let me give you a few ideas of quick lead-ins that you can use in any lesson. For example, you could do an unscramble the word type of activity. So have a look. This is an example for you. Can you unscramble this word? Okay, you ask your learners to do this on their own. Then the person who gives the word the quickest is the winner. Well done. And then you say, well, this is what we're talking about today. Another thing is you could just ask 1 or 2 simple questions on the topic of your lesson. Let your learners talk in pairs, then ask 1 or 2 students to report back on what they were discussing and say, well, this is what we're talking about today. Also, you might bring in a picture or 2, find them on Google or Pinterest, and then say, well, what do you think these pictures represent? What do you think we will be talking about? So these 3 simple, straightforward ideas can help you shorten your lead-in stages, and please don't get overexcited about your lead-ins. Lead-ins can be fun and exciting, and students love them and you love them. I as a teacher absolutely love lead-in stages, but there is no need to spend loads of time preparing your lead-in, thinking about it, okay, shall I do this? Or let me find another idea, or let me do this, or this, or this. So the 3 ideas that I gave you, if you keep rotating them with a group of learners, one time you do the unscramble the word, another time you bring in 2-3 pictures and ask them what they think the topic is going to be, then also 1 or 2 questions, and then just keep doing these one by one. When you get tired of these 3, well, then find another idea to add to this little cycle of yours. But again, no longer than 5 minutes ever. And if you're teaching a 45-minute lesson, for example, on a CELTA course, then your lead-in really needs to be no longer than 3 minutes, because you want to save more time for these stages that are way more important and that are coming on later in your lessons. In the comments below, leave an idea of another simple lead-in task that other teachers could use and that would work with any sort of context. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.